Welcome to Allen's Day. It is the end of April and it is absolutely beautiful here up in Green Bay, Wisconsin. We could have snow, but we got grass. And I had just cut the grass. Looks more like a hayfield the way I cut it, but I'm not too particular when it comes to grass. As long as it's cut down, I'm fine. Got the horses out there, they got their pasture. Cats are all out here checking around. But I gotta go work in the garage tonight. Usually I like to save these for winter projects, but I got one job I gotta get out of the way. Well, one of many. And it involves the 2010 Pete. What happened on there was we had there's a exhaust gasket that is leaking. Just noticed it leaking, so my chore for tonight is, let me get this unhooked here. Get the hood popped. Oh, here we go. My chore for tonight, and I'll get in here, is I've got take off that exhaust manifold down in there, which means the turbocharger's got to come off. This whole mess here, drain the coolant system, and change out a couple of gaskets. Step one, got to get the coolant out of the system. There's a drain down in the bottom here, right down there. Makes it pretty handy and easy to get the coolant out. The reason I'm taking the coolant out, even though I'm working on the exhaust, is there are coolant lines going to the turbo and a few other locations on here that have to be disassembled. Now what I'm after is, right back into here, there's the exhaust gasket. So I got to take these bolts off here and change that gasket out. And also, it's not leaking, but I found way back in there, there's a bolt. I don't think you can see it, but there's a bolt broke off. The last two bolts are out of the turbo. I gotta take the band off of there. And then it's time to get this turbo out of here. Oh, I don't want to lose that seal there. I got a hoist. That's gonna come down, that's gonna help me out a lot here. So let me get going on getting this thing rigged up. Well, it's time to get it out of here. Turbo's out. Now I'll find a home for that, and I will start tearing on that manifold. But I think that's enough for tonight. It's about 8 o'clock. I got to go to work tomorrow, so that's enough for tonight. Talk to you guys tomorrow when I start pulling this out. And last night I decided, well, I can't sleep until I try taking these exhaust bolts out. So what happened was, took the impact wrench, and I got most of the bolts out. Most doesn't count. I snapped off 3 bolts inside the head, so that means I've got 4 bolts that I have to get out of the head. So once I get that away, that's going to be the next mission, is come up with a game plan to get those busted bolts out. Either weld a washer and a nut on there, or drill them, tap them, something. So wish me luck. To change that out, new head on there, take the head off, all that kind of stuff. That's probably $10,000. I don't want to do that. So let me see what I can do. I'll bring you back once I get the manifold off. Manifold is out of there. Let me show you what we got. So here was the problem area. This far port, you can see that the gasket has a little bit of a problem. So I've got new gaskets. The rest of the gaskets look like they're going good. But the big problem is that broken stud. That's going to be an easy one. Broken stud and a broken stud. So that's our right there. Let me get to work and see if I can come up with a game plan for getting those broken studs out of there. Ready to get started. Let me show you what I'm going to do. First of all, this is a surge protector. It clamps on the battery, and hopefully that'll help with the electronics on this truck. Don't ever weld on a vehicle unless you either disconnect the batteries and also put surge protector on there. That's off the list. Game plan. We got an easy one here. This one is just, it's sticking out past, so I'm just going to take a nut, weld it on there, and hopefully I can turn that out. The other ones are all busted off flush, so I took some stainless steel fender washers. I'd prefer to use steel, but I don't have them. I put a cup in there so that it sits down inside of there closer. This is a 5/16 fender washer, and then I bent a little lip up on here so that I can grab it with the pair of needle nose to hold it in place while I weld it. So once that's welded on there, then we're going to take this nut and weld it onto the washer that we have welded here, and hopefully we can turn those out of there. We're going to give it a shot. I'll set the camera up here out of the way so I don't get my lens all splattered up. Well, you can see all the washers and nuts are welded on there. 1, 2, 3, 4 of them. Next step, I let them cool down. I'm going to take a M18 impact, just a little 1/4 inch hex. I don't need much, and I don't want to snap them off again with a big impact, so I'm going to start out with this little one here. And just to show you what I use for a welder on here, I've got this little Miller welder, and I've got 023 wire on there. It's a real fine wire. You have a lot of control over it. You can put a lot of heat in it yet. Don't try going at this with 35 or 45 thousandths wire. You'll make a mess, believe me. Well, let me try getting these bolts snapped off here and see what our odds are. Oh, that was an easy one. There we go. Let's try again. They're all out. It's my lucky day. I'm going to go get a lottery ticket. We're going to call that a win for tonight. We got all the broken bolts out of there. Tomorrow night, I will get that all cleaned up, chase the threads, and maybe my parts will be in. I got those on order. So, see you tomorrow night. We'll be back again. Well, welcome back. This is night 3 of working on the Pete. Got sidetracked. Krusty the Jeep, the 99 Cherokee. Got a few videos out on that. Had to finish working on that the last couple of nights to get that ready. That's going down to Tennessee to our holiday home down there. Hopefully to retire and spend the rest of its life down there, so I don't have to bring it back up. So I got it hooked up to the box truck. You saw the box truck on a few other videos. I went off to California, picked this up, and brought it back. The guys at the shop did a few upgrades. I never did get a video on that, but we got toolboxes on there, and we put a hitch on the back, put some tie downs inside, a few other things. But back to the Pete here. Got all the parts in they were waiting for. They were on order. We got the bolts and spacers. Those are Interstate McBee is where we got those from. Other things, I had to get my snap-on thread chaser because I need to chase the threads on all these holes along here. Also anti-seize. Don't forget your anti-seize. And another thing that came in were some gaskets. Those came from 4-star trucks, and they're a different style than what's on there. The ones that I took off had a hole on the top and bottom where you can put the one stud in there and slide these on. But since these don't have studs, I have to take and put some high temperature gasket maker on there. Not to seal it, but just to hold it in place so when I stick this up there, it's going to stay. But before I do all that, I need to get this surface cleaned up here. And when you're cleaning up these surfaces, don't get too carried away with a grinder on there and removing or scarring up any of the contact surfaces here. So what I've got is I've got my little end grinder, and I've got some 3M wheels here that I'm going to use that. They don't make a lot of sparks on there, so I'm not going to be gouging that up. Let me get this thing cleaned up and we will get started on this project tonight. We are making progress. I got it all cleaned up, all the surfaces, light coat of oil in all the holes, ran my thread chaser through there. Even put a little paint on there, makes me feel better. Don't know if it's going to run any better, but it'll make me feel better. Got the exhaust manifold all prepped. Put the gaskets, I got them glued on there. Don't know if I'm impressed with these gaskets. They've got a slot in the one end there, like I mentioned before, but the slot covers up the holes, so I had to take my little end grinder and carve those gaskets out a little bit. I don't think I should have been doing that. That should have been done already for me. But anyways, I will get this thrown up in there and bring you back when I got it. Also, put a little paint on the spacers, anti-seized up my threads. I am ready to go. You can see for assembly, I just have got my M12, this is a drill with the 3/8 hex on there. You never want to do your assembly with a big impact. Use the smallest impact you can so you don't mess up threads, because there's no way this is going to cross thread anything. So let me get this finished, tightened down, torqued down, and we'll move on to the next phase of this thing. Well, it's time to torque it. I got my little cheat sheet here for torque specs. According to this, it's a 10.9 is the grade, and it's M10 bolt. So it says 49 pounds. Let's see what we can do. We got the snap-on torque wrench here. It's a little overkill. It's a pretty good sized torque wrench. Let's turn her on. I've got it set to 30 pounds right now, just to sneak up on a little bit. So you can see the gauge goes down. Let's see, where are we going? There you go. So when it gets to the pounds that you need, goes green. Let me torque them all down to 30, and then I'll torque them all down to 49. And this phase is going to be done. Almost got the turbo installed. Just got to get it up there a little bit. Got a couple bolts started. Makes a huge difference having that that hoist there just to help guide that. So I'll keep hammering away here. We got another win. It runs. Well, I'll let it warm up a while and cap off the antifreeze, and it's going to be good to go. Speaking of good to go, I need to get going because it's dark out there, and you can see Krusty in the dark there, the Jeep. I've got a 750-mile drive down to Tennessee tomorrow, so I better get going and get packed. Talk to you guys later. Thank you for watching Alan's Day. Life is about making choices. Some things are already perfect. Some things you may choose to upgrade. This channel will show you both. Please like, subscribe, and share. Thanks again.